Hello, we are back. We are back. We are back. I wish I could listen to a different type of music other than lo-fi, but it's really the only thing I can have on that helps, like, I can focus with. I want to listen to, like, fucking EDM, but obviously that would probably be copyrighted, and I wouldn't be able to focus. Oh, but I got Critter to work, so that's back. Don't really know why it wasn't working, but you know, just restarting shit usually works, and it did, so we're good. Where the frick is lo-fi, bro? Just let me put my freaking jams back on. Excuse me. Let's listen to fucking polka. Anything with lyrics is also kind of no-no for my attention span. I can't focus on shit. Did I miss lo-fi? Okay, I did. I'm stupid, sorry. Okay, we're back. What the fuck? Why did it stop? Okay, well, implement. I'm not doing that right now. Ha, what the fuck? I didn't want to go into this. My eyes! My eyes! Okay, we're good. Bro, my monitor is so zoomed out. I don't know why the fuck it does that. Okay, where were we? Mechanics. I don't actually. Is this a? This is technically a player ability, but I think I should have another core mechanic that's like camera movement. Camera. Following. Whoops. This is gonna be kind of important, I think. Like this will probably just be a short section, but like, cause it's just follow. Whoops. But I have no idea how I'm gonna deal with large arenas. Now, what I wanted to illustrate to you before my tablet so rudely decided does not work is that we okay, so traditionally a top-down combat-based game. We have, as reference, we have like Hades, Tunic, Isaac for reference, and the Binding of Isaac for reference. Those are kind of similar games. Now, something I don't like that Isaac and I think Hades do is that you'll have just a room. Say this is a room, and you know, say this is like, maybe the camera is only like here and you are in the middle. Your guy is in the middle, but the boss or the big enemy guy is up here. How do you deal with that? In Isaac, I know if you have a large room and enemies, it just follows you. There's no, doesn't show anything about this guy up here, which is, you know, in the moment with the type of game it is, I don't think it matters that much. But for what I'm doing, I kind of want the boss to be able to close the distance between you in a matter of seconds, which if you can't see them and see cues that are gonna allow you to deal with that gap closing, you're just gonna get fucking nailed. So what I need to figure out is how to have both of these characters visible at the same time. I have a couple ideas. So if the player is locked on to the boss, we could have either, here I'll just put like a dot for when you're locked on. If the player's locked on the boss, one of two things could happen. We could either expand the camera so that it sees the entire area, which is decent, decent solution. Or we could have a split screen like in the Lego games. Now, the pros and cons would be for the expanded view, if we see the whole room at the same time, I think it gives you a better grasp. It definitely gives you a better grasp of the actual distance. Like, you can tell where the enemy or boss is at any given moment. But if you're zoomed all the way out here, it might be hard for you to actually see maybe tiny cues that the boss might give to indicate that they're gonna like attack or close the distance between you quickly. So that's the pros and cons of that approach. The split screen view, it definitely gives you a better view of what the boss is doing. Like, if they are about to try to kick your ass, you'll be able to see it a lot more clearly this way, but you won't be able to see, you might not necessarily be able to tell the distance because you have this big bar in the middle. You don't know how far away they really are from you if it's a big room. Those are the two issues I have right now with camera movement. I think I'm gonna aim for split screen to test that. I'd kind of like the idea of it a little better, but you know, I'm gonna have to experiment with it. That's all there is to say. I will consult my friend though first. I don't have GPT open anymore because my computer decided to die. I mean, Krita decided to be poopy. Let me just get back into the old conversation though. Did I write the momentum thing in the GDD? No, I don't think I did. Mom? there is another problem I'm thinking about now that I wrote the word enemies plural. What is gonna happen if I have, like, the player, a boss maybe, and then, like, enemies behind you too? Like, what the fuck happens then? Oh, shit. Hmm. Yikes. Because if I do the split screen functionality, then your frame of reference for the player is going to be even smaller, and you might not be able to see these guys, which is sort of an issue. Hmm. My only solution in that case would be to have danger indicators around the player, which I think would definitely help. this is the main con of enlarged view for sure. You won't be able to see enemies as clearly at all, or, you know, your own actions either. I disagree with that. It won't center around the player in the case of an enlarged view. Well, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it would, kinda. It would have all of the enemies, not, it wouldn't focus on just the player in that case. I'm gonna adjust my stream title real quick, or my agenda. Maybe I should just have tighter areas, not necessarily huge arenas that are gonna make it really hard to see player and enemies. That's true too. Because if speed is is one of the important things about my combat, then if a fucking it's just you and a boss in an arena, and the boss closes that distance very quickly, your screen is also gonna fucking like go from like all the way like this big to just like this big in a matter of like second, like it's like half a second. And that would be kind of weird. Although I guess I could also combat that by having a static screen size too. I don't know. Camera view, I mean. That's true. Maybe I should consult mine YouTube. I'm gonna off-screen this for a second to make sure my recommended isn't weird. I think these are all just tutorials on how to do top-down view. Here, I guess we can watch one of these videos real quick. What was I just looking at? Whoopsie. Yeah, we can watch this real quick.
Okay, let's say you're...
That's loud, I think. Game Maker's Toolkit.
making a 2D game and you need some kind of camera to frame the action. No problem, just pin the camera to the main character, right? Wrong. Do this and you'll have a camera that's jittery, jumpy, short-sighted, and boringly static. So
let me pause my music real quick. Real quack.
Let's fix it. Here are 5 quick tips for making a much better 2D camera.
Warning, blood.
First, let's talk about look ahead. Basically, if you keep the character in the middle of the screen at all times, then you're dedicating just half of the display to the stuff that's in front of you. No surprise then why this happens so often. So it might be better to focus more attention on the stuff that's coming up and ignore the stuff behind you. And there are
This might just apply to purely 2D games.
Zoom the camera out further. That means even if the hero is dead center on the display, you can still get a good view of what's to come. A more involved solution, though, is to shift the camera in front of the character. If you can only move in one direction, it's enough to simply offset the camera from the main character. That's great for endless runners and the like. But if the player can travel both left and right, then you'll need to adjust the look ahead based on the direction.
That's a cool looking game.
In Cave Story, there are 2 camera positions, one when you're moving left and one when you're moving right. They're both offset in front of the player, which is perfect for a game about shooting targets in front of you. When you swap direction, the game slowly glides to change from one position to the other. New Super Mario Bros. U does something similar. The camera is naturally biased on the right side of the screen ahead of Mario. But if you start to backtrack for a short period of time, the camera will realize, catch up, and swing further.
Interesting.
And in Sonic Generations, the camera reacts to Sonic's speed. It settles on the hedgehog when he stood still, but it moves
Man, I hope it has something about this
further
issue I'm facing, because this is not related to 2.5D at all.
This is not just for platforms, though. In Hyper Light Drifter,
Oh.
the camera is offset a few feet in front of the hero's head.
Oh.
So no matter which direction you're facing, the camera will frame what's coming up. And in Luftrausers, the camera tracks in front of the player's plane, but only when the throttle is held down. That makes it possible to do those sexy stall and swing around shots without losing sight of the prey. It's even easier to do this if the player has a method for aiming, like in Nuclear Throne. By centering the camera somewhere between the character and the cursor, you get a signal at the enemy's
Me when I have to
position.
re-implement the fucking cursor following.
Framing what they obviously want to see. You can witness similar stuff in bullet-based
Shit, I'm gonna have to fucking...
Puzzler the Swapper and blood-soaked Rampager Hotline Miami. Basically, ask yourself, what does the
Okay.
player really need to see, and then make sure the camera isn't hiding it. Next up, let's talk about cameras and...
But I am doing a Souls-like, which does lock on. Oh, man. Okay, let me fucking think about this. So, okay, I really have 3 options then. I could have lock on, with this split screen and large area zoom, or I could just say fuck it and redo the cursor camera, which do I want to do that? I'm trying to think. Rare, I know. Because the main reason that you have the cursor view in Gungeon and Nuclear Throne is to be able to aim your gun. But in my game, it's purely melee. Now, I'm sure I'm going to have options that'll allow you to close distance pretty quickly, so it kind of still does apply even if it is a melee game. Because, like, in Hyper Light Drifter, I'm pretty sure it also uses cursor-based camera movement. I'm trying to think, though, because, like, imagine you're in the midst of quick combat in a large arena like that, right? I'll just redraw it in a different way. If, let me try and imagine a scenario real quick. If you, let's say this is the boss actually, and like you're down here. Imagine like maybe we're both moving parallel to each other, maybe, for some reason. Would it be more beneficial? What would be, what would make combat feel nicer? I guess is what I should try to figure out here. If you have a lock on, then all you have to do is focus on reading the enemy's attack patterns. You know, if they're gonna do movement A, movement B, or some other weird fucking bullshit. If you're locked on, that's all you have to worry about, right? But if you don't have lock on and instead you have cursor, you have your cursor camera, you have to worry about both your left hand on the controller. Hold on. You got to worry about a few things, right? You got to worry about this stick for movement, and you have to worry about this stick to control, you know, where you're looking. And you have to read their movements at the same time. Now, for me, honestly, I wouldn't care because I think that would still be pretty fun. It would be pretty interesting, honestly, to have that much fucking intense shit you got to worry about all at the same time, especially if you don't have a stamina bar. I think that would be a decent trade-off personally. But you know, I don't want to get this far into developing like a fight and realize, oh shit, having cursor view is shitty. Right? Now the simple answer is just to have both. Um, like I said with the running functionality too earlier. Um, but I also don't know if it would be worth it to do both because that also takes time. Time that I don't necessarily have. Or maybe I do have. It doesn't fucking matter how much time I have anyway. What should I do first is probably what I should sort of figure out here. If I just have a static camera with no input from the right stick, I also got to think about this. If you need, if having the right stick would make combat more interesting as opposed to controlling the camera, right? If I didn't have to worry about using the right joystick at all during combat for controlling the camera, and you know, maybe even seeing like other enemies, lesser enemies behind me potentially, then what can this offer me? What can having the right joystick available offer me? Sorry, I'll put the music back on, I just forgot. Ah yes, shitting music, my favorite. I'm kidding. I'm just trashing on the music, sorry. These are just things I need to keep in mind before I get into anything. I need to think about what the better trade-off would be. Because now I have to think about what having the right joystick can offer me in terms of additional combat. Like if it can trigger special abilities, or if you use fucking like quarter inputs from fighting games. I don't think I would do that for the record, because that sounds like a lot of work mid combat. But you know, it's possible. Maybe it can make things more interesting potentially. I think that I want the player to be focused on pretty much the back bumpers, though, when you're in combat, because that's what you focus on for the most part when you're fighting in Dark Souls and Sekiro and Lies of P. So it's probably what you should be focusing on, to be honest. Not necessarily what you're going to be doing with the right stick, because that's three, four different inputs you might have to worry about at any given moment, and that might be a little too much, maybe. Especially if you're already pressing the run button if you don't have auto run on by default. So, uh, hmm. Yeah, now that I think about it, how the fuck do you even... Okay, so in Gungeon and... Now I'm thinking about it, like actual inputs you have to have all at the same time. How does Gungeon and Nuclear Throne do that? Because they don't... Okay, no, they don't have the run feature. I'm just trying to remember. They don't have the run feature because the character's already at max speed by default, which I don't really want to do. Should I? Oh man. I have all these things to keep in mind. It's kind of difficult to keep track of. Winner. Why does he look kind of like Goku? too, man. Me too. I don't know what the fuck to do. uh, cause I mean, I want the player to be able to choose to run or not, cause that's like a big thing in Souls games. But like, I have the camera issue now. In a regular Souls game, let me just think about it this way. In a regular Souls game, what happens with the camera? It's static, right? No, it isn't. In Sekiro, I know that the brother will be standing, but and like looking at big freaking boss dude with the chunky ass bod and the ninja sword or whatever. I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta do my shit too. But he might have fucking dudes behind him too. So what then? What then? So what then, Sekiro? Citation means defeat. So in that situation, it's a 3D view though, so it's obviously not the same. But when you're dealing with a situation like this in Sekiro, what the player has to do in that given moment. What is this arrow doing? They have to either lock on to the boss. They either lock onto the boss, or they disengage with the boss and pan their camera backwards to look at the ads behind them, while also stepping or like avoiding combat into one direction so that we can have everybody in the frame at the same time. So off-screen enemies are still an issue in 3D games too. It's not something that's strictly limited to 2D views. I know that. And in fucking, what is this sword, bro? What the fuck is that? Brother's sword is fucking off-center. No, but you gotta, I have to keep in mind that it shouldn't be perfect, I guess. Like, I think I'm overcomplicating it. I should probably just keep things simple and stupid, right? So, I should be thinking about it probably the same way, where you either have a free camera, where you can choose to look around, right? Maybe. But you can lock on, and then I could have additional camera for indicators that enemies are gonna fucking fuck your shit up if you're not paying attention. So I guess this kind of does mean that I have to re-implement the cursor view, potentially. Penis. Brimstone. Why did I choose to get rid of that? I'm trying to think of why I got rid of that in the first place. I think my reasoning was that it might just be too much camera movement and it might make the player kind of motion sick. But It could be helpful for these types of situations, though, where you can't really see everybody at the same time. And Gungeon and Nuclear Throne do it, and I am following that basic strategy. And Hyperlight Drifter too. I'm just concerned about 5 inputs at the same time, because that, like, you only have one thumb. You either have your thumb here and your finger on the trigger, or you have your other hand over there doing your own thing, and you're not worried about this, and instead you're holding the sprint button. You have your thumb on the sprint button and your finger on the bumper. Or, if you're a sociopath, you could do 3 at once by doing fucking claw grip. Like, I have done this before, but I don't want to encourage that with my with people playing my game. That's kind of ass, and I don't like that. So I think it just comes down to me choosing between run versus camera. Because in Sekiro, when I'm trying to run and adjust the camera at the same time, that's when I find myself doing the stupid crab view. Excuse my language, sorry. But I don't want to encourage that, though. That's the fucking thing. But I guess I could just ignore all this stupid conflict by doing auto run by default. I'm not a huge fan of that, but at the same time, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to have, like, walking, I guess. I think my main thing is that I'm just concerned with player feel in the heat of combat, because like I feel like dodging into run is a satisfying thing to do when you're in the midst of combat. It's like, holy fuck, I have to get out of danger right now because all of these guys are gonna jump my ass. But if you just have run like max speed by default, then all you have to do is move the left stick in a direction and boom, you're gone. And I don't feel like that's as satisfying, but I think I'm gonna have to make certain sacrifices, because doing all of this shit at the same time with the sheer amount of combat I'm envisioning is just too much. So I think I might have to sacrifice dodge to run ultimately. That's all I can really think to do at the moment. It's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Balls. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's that, right? This was sort of a good brainstorming session, I guess, but I don't know. I might just end up doing both, but I think that having better control of the camera outweighs the ability to toggle run manually. And just having a high run speed by default. Because if I have a cursor controlled camera, then I won't have to worry about this as much, because the player will feel in control of that pretty much. As long as I don't make it too zoomed in, which I won't, then it shouldn't be a huge issue. I might just have to mess around with those danger indicators that I'm thinking of. I will write this down. Follows player by default, lags slightly to create smooth effect. Okay. Wait, I might... This... oh, dude. I might still have that issue, though, with the lock on... Buh. If I want to do a lock-on mechanic, I'm gonna have to do probably enlarged view. I might just do enlarged view for now, because I just kind of want to move on. I don't think that spending this much time on it is worth it, because ultimately it's gonna just fucking come down to me actually doing it and seeing how it looks. I can spend all the time in the world right now pondering whether or not it's gonna look good, but I won't know for sure until I actually do it. So for now, we'll do cursor controlled right stick for free view, with the static effect to just follow the player in the center of the screen with a slight lagging effect, and then lock on view to enemy. Oops. No. Lock on view to enemy via enlarged view. Might experiment with split screen if this view feels unnatural later. I think that enlarged view is probably the way to go. If this feels okay, so we'll just do enlarged view for now. I'm gonna have to mention though that this is not possible. A-way movement default is walking into sprinting depending on movement input intensity, I guess, for lack of a better word. Like the more you press or move the stick, the more you the more speedy you move, or the more velocity you have, I guess. Alright, that's it. I'm opening the fucking game after probably an hour of just working on the document. I don't have the cursor camera enabled right now, but I want to just sort of imagine it more closely. Okay, if your max movement is like this by default, I don't think that's necessarily that bad. I still don't know why that bug's happening. Oh wait. What the hell? It's having a hard time playing the sprinting animation too. Now that I see it. Once you toggle sprint into the walk and then wait. Once you toggle sprint and then stop and then sprint again, it just plays the walking animation for some reason. That's weird. Another thing I'm gonna have to fix with the state machine. Yay! What was I doing? I was trying to figure out whether I should do the cursor camera. If I'm fucking moving... Oh, I guess I should also freaking take into consideration that my sprint button is not controlled by the dodge button. So maybe I can have both. Oh, dude, I'm stupid. I have the sprint button controlled at like a traditional FPS would, where your movement stick, if you just press the stick down, that toggles sprinting, not your dodge button, which I probably had in mind when I made the controls originally, which I'm stupid because I didn't write down. Does that mean I need the cursor camera? I don't know. I don't know. My friends, I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do. I'm just running around in circles trying to figure my shit out. Why did I scrap? I wish I had written it down why I decided to scrap the cursor camera. I want to know why I did that. I'm pretty sure it was just because I wasn't happy with the amount of input, maybe? Like I wasn't, or not input, but the amount of movement on screen. I can't remember if that's what I decided or not. Because that video we just watched does have a point. If it's just this camera by default, then I'm gonna have a hard time seeing enemies that are like slightly down here or slightly up here. They're just gonna pop into view whenever I move closer to them, you know? And maybe that'd be fine, but I can imagine it might turn into a pain point for players if they're not able to manually adjust the camera. Because in a 3D game like Sekiro, Lies of P, just any Souls game, you're able to move the camera to see the enemies. That's the whole point of the camera. So ultimately it's probably something I should do, especially if I'm delegating the sprint button to the left toggle like I have by default right now. I don't know why it's doing that. It's so strange. Some bug in the code, obviously. Alright, well. So then it's kind of decided then I have to do to cursor camera, I think. I think I want to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there, because that is fine. The way I have it right now allows me to do cursor view and toggleable sprinting without having to do fucking crab grip. So that's cool. Anyway, yes, this I think is how I should have my camera controls. Enlarged view. Split screen, I can maybe experiment with later for sure. Okay, so that's that. This probably should have taken that long to figure that out, but also I don't know why this is indented. I don't have that style with the previous mechanic. Okay, player abilities, basic things. Okay, so these things are probably what we are mainly going to focus on for our immediate next steps. We're going to do, we have that walking and running done. Well, not really, but kind of. I might adjust it somehow as the prototype goes on, but we pretty much have walking and running done. I just have to fix it up from our fuckery with the state machine yesterday. Dodge rolling, probably going to be our immediate, and dodge rolling and b-hopping are probably going to be our immediate next steps. for me, I like to envision that you're gonna be able to move so quickly that the camera's gonna have a hard time following you. I like when games do that personally. I think that's really fun. Because it makes you feel you're fucking schmoving. Okay, so no, dodge rolling and b-hopping will likely be the next thing we do. Um, I've been thinking about this actually recently. Now that I do kind of fuck with the idea of a lot of momentum and movement, that I might end up doing some platforming in this game. I'm not too sure about that yet, but you know, it could be interesting for sure if I have some basic shit like parkour in there. Obviously, it would only be actual platforming and not anything vertical, because I don't want verticality in my game. Okay, then we have parrying and blocking. So we'll probably just do dodge roll. I don't know if I'm going to do b-hopping after dodge roll or just parrying and blocking next, but yeah, so these three features are probably what we're gonna tackle next. So I think I can probably stop working on my GDD for now, because everything else is sort of secondary right now that I can think of. In order to keep our prototype moving along, it's probably the best to move on to just continuing the player. Oh, and oh shit, and I have to do idle as well. Just something you forget about, honestly. Underline that because it's pretty important. Maybe I should actually put that in its own bullet, because that's pretty important for all of these mechanics. This is gonna become... Oh, I'm not fucking attacking. Duh. Light, basic, combo, heavy, attacks, rainstorm, ideas, later. Yes, so these things are going to be our next steps. But I'm probably going to do dodge rolling first and b-hopping, because I think momentum and movement are going to be very important. Yeah. I am going to, if I do implement b-hopping, I am going to have to consider how that ties into all of these though as well. Although to be honest, to make this a little less overpowered, I'll probably make it so that this cancels all input whenever you're in the air, because that would only pretty much make sense to me at least. Maybe you could block in the air like in Sekiro, or do basic light attacks, but yeah, it's something I will have to think about. How long have I been streaming? Hello? I've been doing this for probably 2 hours now. Even though my stream says 1 hour, I had to stop to reset my computer. Excuse me. Do I continue? I kind of have to pee, actually. So I might step away for a moment. This is not true. I will not be stepping away for a 15-minute break. Why don't I just get rid of that? Yes. I will be right back. I'm gonna go pee. Okay, I am back. Sorry. I had to take a pee-pee. Okay, so let's go adjust our stuff. This is good. We are satisfied with this. This is a little broad though. I'll just put the date at 27, 25. Okay, what the fuck? Why did it not update? Hello? Okay, cool. I will say that is done for now. Fix sprinting and write sprint animations. That is what I will do next. We are doing that. I can probably just close that for now. Okay, so let's get back into this actual thing. Now, the issue was with sprint, right? The issue was that once I stop moving, it doesn't re-engage. It's probably just this, to be honest. That's probably the only thing that needs to change. It's usually tiny things like that that mess up the script. Nope, that was not the answer, actually. Okay. because maybe this. If player dot get input length is greater than 0, then walk. I think it's probably an issue here. I will get the aid of Mr. GPT because I don't actually know how to fix this myself. If player dot get input, so it's just checking if the player's moving, but it's not able to differentiate whether we are in the walk state or the sprint state. So we need some type of way to access the current state. Because sprinting is toggleable. We know that. So there must be somewhere in here where some variable keeps track of that. Because obviously the speed remains constant when we are sprinting. When I stop moving and then go back into sprinting, while sprint is toggled, the speed does remain correct. So we know at least that's true. That is correct. But the incorrect animation plays, so I need to find where the sprint state is activated. Is this it? What does this even do? I'm just gonna mess around with it. Wait, is it only doing that? What is it? It's not getting the right animation at all for some reason. What the fuck? It might just not have the correct animation name, to be honest. Oh, no, that's correct. That's the correct name. Where's walk right? Huh. Wait, what? Where's walk right? Am I blind? Test right. That's the wrong name. Why the fuck is that named test right? Yeah, that should, maybe that'll fix the issue with the name thing, or the just the right frame. Yeah, there we go. But okay, so we fixed that, but we still have that sprinting state issue, which I do think might originate from the idle. Yeah, so no, it definitely does originate from, excuse me, here, but how do I differentiate the walk state from the run state? mean, sprinting is literally here, though. So do we reference that in sprint at all? Sprint speed. Player.sprint speed. I think we could say player.sprinting. And okay, we're not moving at all. I fucked it up. Why did that mess it up? Oh, maybe or? Might have just had an issue with the operator. Oh, we stopped completely after idling. Okay. So that's not right either. This is true when input is gotten. I should try to figure this out on my own before I turn to GPT. I want to become a better programmer in GD script, so I gotta try and figure this out on my own. If player.getInput the length is greater than 0, so it's getting getInput.length, and getInput is an input vector, which is just a vector. So that just means if there is input, basically. If it's greater than 0, that means there's input. Why can't this be AND, though? Because I don't understand why that can't be AND, because this is a true statement when we boot up the game by default, right? So sprinting is false. So both of these are true, which means that we should be able to walk, but we aren't. Which makes me think that it's just maybe my statement is incorrect. Like maybe I should do dot equals. I don't know if it's like that in Godot. I mean GD script, but I know that's how it is in Java. I'm not too sure. Because sprinting is false by default. This is never used. This is a useless thing. Wait, was that a useless thing? I don't think it wasn't. No, I don't think it was. Let's just boot it up and see if it did anything. Bink bonk, bink bonk, moving the camera and shit. Okay, it doesn't do anything, but that's not because the input was deleted. Okay, we're fine. Alright, let's go back to here. So, this is not right, clearly. Maybe I could do like not equals? Does that do anything? No, it still doesn't work. Okay. Well, and that is useless. Maybe I can do... Is it else if in Godot? Player. Just be lazy here. Dot sprinting true. Ha. I do have a colon. What? How do I write else if statements in Godot? Is it just elif? It is elif, okay. Let's see if that works. Okay. No, it does not work. Sprint. Oh wait, sprinting, idle, sprinting. Nope, we get the walk animation still. Maybe it's not even in this. Maybe it's not an issue here. It's just not getting the animation for some reason. Because it is correctly switching states, actually. I don't think that's even necessarily the issue. Okay, no, we do have that then. We do have a switch state to sprinting correctly in the walk state, my bad. This is why I need to fucking read my code. So that's correct, but it's just not getting the right animation. Why is that not happening? That should be a lowercase s too. No, it should not. My bad. Because that's talking about the state, not the input name. My bad. Spaz, yes. No, it's getting the walk animation right though, so there's some type of difference here. It's going. Okay, so we are running. It gets the correct animation once, and then I idle. I go to the idle state, and then it just goes back to the walk state. So okay, now the issue is here then, because in walk we don't ever get back to the sprint state from idling in the middle of movement because it's triggered from the toggling of the button initially, not this. This is what should be put in the if statement, not action pressed. Maybe I can just switch that then. Maybe I can just put that there. Okay, now we don't get to... now we can't get to the sprint state. Because we don't have a button toggle. Okay, so we do need that. But we need to figure out how to re-trigger the state from idle. Maybe just another if statement. Maybe we just do or. This might be it. Because it's either if this is true or this is true. Because when we are walking and then we toggle a sprint, then it switches to the sprint state. Or if player.sprinting is true, then we should also go into the sprint state. Alright, now we are in walking, sprinting, then we idle, and we go into sprint and it doesn't engage again. Okay. So, okay. Oh, that just breaks it. Interesting. Huh. Maybe we write and... No, because then it wouldn't get there at all. I saw it when I walked, boy. I don't know, this makes sense to me logically. I don't really know why it wouldn't work this way. Okay, I think I give up. Time to consult GPT. I made a good effort, I think. I will try to understand it, though, and work with GPT to fix this. How to write else if. Yeah, cool. No, that's fine for now. Thank you for the input. I will tackle the matter of camera controls later. I have to fix a runtime error related to sprint animation in the state machine now. And I was wondering if you could help. If you could gelp. I tried to fix it on my own for a little bit, but I don't think I can quite solve it on my own. I think, well, I'll describe the problem. The problem is that the player goes from idle to walk to sprint successfully, but going from idle to walk to sprint to idle, back to sprint, makes it so that idle to sprint triggers the walk animation and not the sprint animation. I can tell it is successfully re-engaging with the sprint state because the speed is correct, just not the animation. Did I fix that, by the way? The idle, the walk. No, get rid of this shit. That was not right. I think it may have to wait. Would it be an issue here? And I do know that the animation names are correct, so that's not the issue. I don't even know where it is. I don't know where the issue is, to be honest. I'm not even really sure where the issue is in the code, to be honest. Does the sprint state correctly set the animation when entered? It does initially. Does the walk animation persist after idle? It's probably an issue here. It's probably from the walk state. I'm just gonna ignore this because it's giving generic code. I guess I'll just give it the walk state because I think that might be where the issue is. Oops, not my stream. I think the issue may be in the walk state, since the animated 2D sprite is using the walk animation for sprinting after idling after sprint is engaged prior. Here is the code. GD script. Let's see. We can pinpoint issue. another annoter script. I see the issue. me when I see the issue. GPT GPT is just like, I see the issue. I see the issue. Okay, let's see what this nerd has to say. I'm sorry, GPT, I love you. The problem lies in how you're handling sprinting and animation transitions inside the walk state. Update animation direction. Function only plays walk animations even when sprinting is active. What is happening? Sprinting is toggled in physics process, but the animation isn't updated for sprinting. Update animation direction is always setting a walk animation even if sprinting is active. I don't think that's necessarily true, because it does work the first time. Was it toggle? Where is it talking about? This might cause issues later. Because what about new states like attacking and blocking and shit? I don't know. I'll try this for now. If it works, then it works, but I don't know if this is correct. It is wrong spacing. Thanks, GPT. This is also has to be intended. I mean, if it works, it works, but if not, then... Okay. Now we're not re-engaging with animation at all. Cool. So that didn't work. Okay. Cool. Oh, this is the thing I changed. It looks like it caught it. I guess that was correct then. I guess that makes sense actually. I'm dumb. Oh, and that should also probably be a capital W. Okay, so it's just telling us to update that enter function. Damn it, GPT, stop. Can you please indent your code? Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Only one way to find out. Nope. Well, transitioning from walk to sprint works. It's just idle to sprint does not work. Why? I feel like maybe... I know I'm going in circles here, but maybe it has to do with idle. Because there's nothing from the physics process that goes back into the sprinting state. But it does, though, because it goes to walk. But that's the issue. There is no way to get back to sprint from walk, or from idle, though. So it has to be here. I think that was a good attempt, but ultimately I think the logical issue lies with the idle state. There is no way as it is for the idle state to switch back to the sprint state without first going into the walk state. If the sprint button is toggled while idle, then it should just go immediately back into the sprint state. I'm not sure to fix this though myself. I did try to add an elif statement to the physics process. But it did not work. I'm gonna just return this to, I don't know, I think I already did. Okay, whatever. Exactly right. The idle state lacks a way to transition directly to sprint, which is why the game forces the player to walk through walk. Let's fix that. Allow sprinting directly from idle. Modify your physics process function in idle state.gd. Sprinting. Okay. Okay. I wish that Godot didn't do this, to be honest. But I know that I'm pretty sure GD script uses an interpreter, so indents are important. Wait, did that not work initially? I think I moved and then it didn't do anything at first. Okay. I am going to move the toggle, and if it doesn't do anything, then that is another bug. Okay, no, it was just a... no, there is a weird bug where I can only move sometimes. What the fuck? Okay, this is weird. If I stop and then walk, and stop and then walk, it doesn't work sometimes. Bro, what the fuck? I think that might honestly be... Nope, it still doesn't work even with that though. Wait. It just worked just then, didn't it? What the fuck? Wait, what? It works sometimes. Dude, what? Okay, there is something very wrong here. Okay. This is jank as fuck. So it works. Okay. There's literally no way for me to know what's going on here. It works sometimes, and then it doesn't work sometimes. What the fuck? Well, this is my worst nightmare. I have nothing to go off of in that case. My only guess is that it has something to do with this value, because this is not a boolean. It's a vector. Maybe if I say just greater than or equal to 0. Is that a valid operator in GD script? Because my only guess is that it might be... okay, now it doesn't work at all. Cool. Well, that's not the issue then. Well... fucking beats me then. I'm just gonna tell GPT because I'm like completely confused. Okay, so technically it does work. However, it appears that with the implement with that particular solution, the player stops responding to input seemingly at random, and in addition the sprint animation only re-engages from the idle state, also at random. How strange is that? My only guess this element of randomness is either it is confused the input vector value, or it is just having a hard time computing. I have no idea. That is definitely strange. Zero length input? I guess maybe that could be an issue. Because is that what we just fixed? I think it might have been. I don't know why it would have an issue though. Well, oh, wait. Maybe this should be... I might have fucked up. Wait, did I just fuck up the indents? That might be the issue. Yeah, that's the issue. Okay, I just fucked up the indents. Yep. Okay, it works perfectly fine then. Yay! We fixed it! It only took like an hour. Okay, I'll just tell GPT about it because I feel like I owe it to the computer to explain it. Okay, actually, I realized that I just did not indent the second if statement correctly. My bad. It works completely fine thanks to your provided solution in the idle state. Thank you. Okay, so we have proper animation again. Yay, we got back to the way it was before. Woohoo! We have successfully taken a step back to take one step forward. So cool, we are at a break even in terms of progress. That's awesome. Now, should I continue streaming or should I call it a day? Do you think? Oh, let me go back to our Trello board. Let's fix sprinting and right sprint animations. Look at that, baby. I freaking did a thing. Let's freaking go. Excellent. Now that I've fixed a few problems, I can feel my power increasing. Yes. I'm just gonna doodle for a minute. Take a break. Oh shit, I dropped my stylus. I've never experimented with shading, bro. Like, I'm so fucking... I don't understand shading at all. It's so bad. Whoop. Can't fucking see that text at all. Holy shit. Wow, that is very low res, Wonderful. Alright, well, I might stop there. I fucking had an 8-hour shift today, and I just got back from the gym, so I've been streaming for like 3 hours. I mean, I'd like to do more, but I'm kind of fucking pooped, and that kind of took a lot out of me. Like, I mean, I guess I could keep going. Like, the next thing to do is just to do the dodge animation, so I'm gonna keep it as basic as I can tomorrow when we do that. I won't be doing... maybe I'll do a blocked out animation like this, but I'm not gonna do, like, anything fucking nuts. I'm not gonna do a whole case study on the walk cycle again, you know. I'm just gonna do fucking a few frames for each direction, and that will have to do, because I just need to get a prototype going as quick as I can. And that does not have to be perfect. It just has to be kind of what it's gonna look like, and that's all. I wanna get to combat and the fun shit as soon as possible. So I'm just gonna stop here so that I can get a good night's sleep. I have a day off tomorrow. I don't think I have anything planned, hopefully, so we're maybe just gonna do a long stream tomorrow. Potentially. We shall see. I'm probably gonna end up waking up at like fucking noon or something crazy anyway, because I like staying up late nowadays until my work schedule screws me. But yeah, so I shall call it a night for today. Well, no, here, let's reflect on what we did so that I might have a better time of remembering things. I'll just write down what I've done in my GDD. Should definitely write down what I do per day, because that's sort of the trend here. 227. Today, I wrote down more categories to expand on in this GDD, and contemplated running and camera controls. Ultimately, I settled on pretty much what I had before. Left toggle sprint with static cam, cursor cam, and lock on cam, with the addition of danger. Did I write that down? If not, I have to put that in here. Should this be on player mechanics or camera mechanics? Flaws player default controlled. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I'll just put it in camera because player is probably gonna have a lot in it. So I'll put danger indicators for off-screen enemies around player, like in Fortnite or FPS games. I know it does that. I know that's a very common feature in games like COD or maybe Battlefield. I'm pretty sure that's a very common feature that I should very likely look into for this style of game. Danger indicators off screen enemies. Next, I fixed the what was wrong initially? The right word sprint animation failure, as well as the state machine issue transition from idle to sprint animation. Everything works as expected now, and I believe I can begin making new states. Just need to familiarize myself with how they work in conjunction as I move forward. Okay. Also, I decided that a dodge roll with a potential B-hop mechanic is something I'd like to at least explore. That is all for today. Okay. This is kind of an arbitrary task, because I'm always going to have to work on the GDD. Having this development log, this written, I'll just write that down actually, because I'm going to have dev logs, which are going to be part of my my main YouTube channel later when I make a new video, which I should probably do soon, because it's already been a month, I think, since... Here, let me off screen this for a sec. Excuse me, I'm trying to type in the URL. Let's see how long it's been since my last video already. It's probably been like a month. Yeah, it's already been a month. Jeez. Pause that damn thing. Yeah. It has already been like a month and a half since my last video. Shit. I want to make regular devlogs, but yeah, this past month I've just really not been too sure on what to prioritize in my life, so I'm gonna try to making these dev streams as high a priority as I possibly can. So I'm really trying here. I'm gonna try to stream every day and work on my game every day, because this is what I wanna fucking do. Okay, well, that is all for today. I guess I shall just end it. Whatever time it is for you, whether it be morning, afternoon, or night, have a good one, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Goodbye!